and I'll answer them. Or even if it's, many weeks or months after this live, if you're confused about kefir, which is what we're going to talk about today, dairy kefir, then I'd love to help you. I know a lot about ferments, and I often do live in-person fermented food workshops. Hello to those that don't know me. I am Emma Ellis-Flint. I'm a clinical nutritionist, and I used to be a chef. And when I did my nutrition degree, I brought together the love of food and chefing and the knowledge and science of all of it. And so I hope you can feel like you have confidence in what I do. I am going to talk about dairy kefir. That's all I'm going to talk about today, because this is such a simple, brilliant ferment. And I really want you to understand how it can just be part of your everyday life. And I'm going to show you first what it looks like. This is simply it. So I have a jam jar here, and I've got some what they call dairy kefir grains in here and some milk. And I've been fermenting it just 24 hours, just sitting out on my kitchen bench. This is actually a girlfriend's kitchen bench, not my kitchen bench. And what I begin to do after it's fermented for 24 hours, I strain it. And I might strain it into a breakfast bowl, or I might strain it into a smoothie maker. I'm actually going to make a smoothie with it today. So I'm going to strain it directly into that and do it like that. Here we go. And that way you're also going to see the actual kefir drink. And now this is very forgiving kefir. You don't have to be delicate with it. And this is just going to go through and sieve. And what I'm doing is I'm sieving out the fermented milk, and I'm leaving what they call the kefir grains, which are the microorganisms that are fermenting the milk. Now, the brilliant thing about dairy kefir is, like yogurt has maybe 1 or 2 microorganisms in it, dairy kefir, especially if it's homemade, has up to 10 or 30 beneficial microorganisms in. And how amazing is that? And they're all different types. And there's lots of research on dairy kefir and how good it is for your gut health. And there's even more of a secret. So it's great for your gut health, makes you feel good, makes you feel better for most people. But the other fun fact is when it does its fermenting with milk, it also produces things like peptides. And peptides have this brilliant anti-inflammatory effect in our gut and throughout our body. So it's an absolute brilliant, brilliant thing to make. Now, that there is the dairy kefir grains that are left over once I've strained out the fermented milk. Can you see? It's almost a little bit like cottage cheese. And they're just, if you were to touch them, they're almost a bit spongy. And they are actually like the colony of microorganisms. And all you do, that's about a generous tablespoon. All you do to begin fermenting again is you simply take those kefir grains into a fresh, clean, like use a jam jar, can be any container, glass or ceramic, and you add some milk. I'm just going to grab some milk. Here we go. And for that amount of kefir grains, I usually use about a cup of milk. So that's a generous tablespoon of kefir grains. And here's 1 cup of milk. And for me, that's plenty. And I would leave it out on my kitchen bench overnight. Now, of course, it depends on how warm your kitchen is as to how long you ferment it for. If your kitchen's a bit cool, it'll need 24 hours. If it's a bit warm, maybe even after 12 hours. To simply stop the fermenting, but not kill anything, but to stop it, you would put it in the fridge. That just pauses any fermentation. And why would you want to do that? Because this kefir milk, which I've actually sieved into here, can taste very faintly sour. Can you see how it's thicker than milk? I don't know if you can see that it's almost like a thick cream when it's fermented. So it very faintly tastes sour. Now, that's how I like it. But if you let it ferment on longer, it goes really quite very sour tasting. So you learn where's the best place that you like the taste and you want to stop fermenting. There's no right or wrong. I actually don't like it when it gets really sour and kind of what I think of as over fermented. So that if it was a warm kitchen and I left it out for 24 hours, that amount, 1 cup of milk and one generous tablespoon of kefir grains, for me, that probably would be over fermented. But you learn, it's so good. It's such a fun experience to learn. And then sometimes that fermented milk, the milk and the kefir grains as it ferments, separate. Sometimes you get liquid down the bottom and like curds at the top. That's normal. So you just give it a good shake. And that might happen after 12 hours of fermenting or 24 hours of fermenting, or it may never happen if you don't ferment it too far. Now, that is all there is. And in many countries, if you go online and you put in to your search engine, buy live dairy kefir grains, you can buy a tablespoon and you start your own fermenting. And it just perpetually carries on. And it grows, of course, in the colony. And soon you have a bit too many kefir grains for the amount of milk that you want fermented. And so you simply give those grains to a girlfriend and you carry on. Because either you have to add more milk or ferment it for less time as the grains grow, if you understand what I'm talking about. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And what do I do with this? My favorite and simplest thing is I add a little bit of a banana, or it could be mixed frozen berry or something like that. Bit of banana, a good heaped tablespoon or 2 of chia seeds. I love them because not only is the dairy kefir fantastic for your gut health and produces, actually, like in a sense, enhances your own gut microbes. They love the microbes in dairy kefir as well. And there's the peptides in there, and all has this wonderful benefit of producing natural compounds, your own microbiota, which actually also have a very beneficial effect on the lining of your gut. And also it goes into your body, those beneficial compounds, and they have anti-inflammatory effects in the body. It's really good. All right, so I've got chia seeds and banana in here. And then often I just add some cocoa powder because we've got a little bit of sweetness there in the banana, and cocoa powder, because think about that lovely rich color of cocoa. That actually also got brilliant polyphenols in, which are natural plant compounds, that dark color. And that actually is also good for your gut microbes. And there's some fiber in that ground cocoa as well. So you're really feeding your gut microbes in the simplest of kefir smoothies. I might add some ice if I wanted to. I'm not going to today. Here we go. I'm going to blend it up. Yeah. Yum. Yum, 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 yum. And that's it. Now, please, if you would like to know anything more about dairy kefir, pop it into the comments and I'll go through and I'll answer the questions. And next time we have a live YouTube, it's going to be on a Sunday in 2 weeks' time. And it's going to be all about my favorite cake, a very healthy cake that you'll find delicious. So enjoy.